Yeah, I was in Washington at the National Governors Association meeting that took place on Saturday and Sunday and yesterday. And I did have a chance to visit with Tammy and her husband Brian, who are personal friends. I've known them for quite some time. I first met Tammy and Brian at Walter Reed Medical Center when shortly after she was attacked and brought home. And we've been friends ever since. We have worked together for many good causes. I just think the world of Tammy Duckworth and Brian Duckworth, her husband, and I think it's important that we honor their heroism every day. Brian served in Iraq a year or two ago. He was deployed, and Tammy was here on the home front. Just before she left, before she was appointed to her federal position, she one time said to me that if there was ever an opportunity, she'd like to be considered for something like lieutenant governor. So when this opening did come up a week or two ago, I thought of her. I thought she should be informed about the opportunity. I knew at that time that she had a very important federal assignment, and we visited about that over this weekend. And she's really going from coast to coast to help veterans, help their recovery, make sure they're served well. She's just doing an outstanding job. I think it was quite an agonizing decision for her. She's interested, obviously, in our state of Illinois. She still has a home in Hoffman Estates. Brian taught at Northern Illinois University. Tammy was an employee of the Rotary Association for a number of years. But I think she felt that she had been appointed by the president to this mission, and that was something that she felt obligated to carry out. And so, you know, I thought it was important to ask Tammy if she was interested in serving as lieutenant governor, and you know, she decided not to seek the opportunity. But there are many other good candidates. I must say that in the few weeks this has come up, really, I think the election was 3 weeks ago today, 21 days ago, but so many things have happened since then, and I've you know, learned of many people, good people, who are interested in serving, and so I'm sure we will come together. It'll probably be first half of March to get a good candidate to be on our ticket and carry on from there.
And Governor, when did she tell you that she, you know, sorry, I just can't do it?
Well, we visited at some length on Saturday.
Okay.
You know, we had a good visit on Saturday. We're friends. I mean, I've gone to dinner with Tammy and her husband. You know, we talk on the phone a lot, you know, long before this came up. So we've always been on a friendly basis, and you know, we visited and, you know, talked about other issues besides lieutenant governor. And then she said she wanted to think a couple of days about it, you know, kind of weigh everything. I could tell just talking to her on Saturday, she's a person who's driven by mission. She has a mission in life to help other people. And the President of the United States, the Commander-in-Chief, who I was with this past couple of days, asked her to serve in this very high capacity in the United States Department of Veterans Affairs. My uncle, who served with General Bradley in World War II, he worked for the VA, Veterans Administration, for many, many years. He just passed away last year, age of 92. So when you're in the VA, there's a mission to help veterans, and I think Tammy felt that was something the President asked her to do, and she felt obligated to carry out the mission.
So she was disinclined when you talked to her on Saturday, but then she made it official yesterday, or what?
Well, no, I think we wanted to talk about all the dynamics of being a candidate. You know, she had been a candidate for Congress, but that was, you know, she was now a federal official, high position in the Department of Veterans Affairs, and she wanted, I think, to know a little bit about Illinois politics, where things are, but also what I thought of the office of lieutenant governor. Quite a bit of the discussion was that. I think it's an important office to be an advocate for citizens, and especially for veterans and service members and their families. And that's why, you know, among the people I think well qualified to serve in this office would be Tammy Duckworth, who I want to make sure that whoever is going to be the candidate for lieutenant governor in the Democratic ticket is someone who has veterans and service members and their families at heart all the time. Their heart needs to be at the service of the men and women in uniform.
So when did she say no?
I was going to the dry cleaner this morning, and she called me on my cell phone. We have each other's cell phone numbers. I want to emphasize, I I talked to her a lot over the course of, you know, the last several years. We've been very good friends. We've worked together on many causes, and she did a marvelous job when she was here in Illinois with our Veterans Department, and so I know she's a special person. She will always, in my opinion, be one of the greatest heroes Illinois has ever had. She was really violently attacked in her helicopter there in Iraq, somehow piloted the craft. Her life was saved. She was brought to Walter Reed. And the first time I met Tammy Duckworth, she was going, 2 weeks after she arrived, room to room, cheering up soldiers who had been grievously wounded, who had just arrived at the hospital. There's a woman who lost her legs in Iraq, left her limbs in Iraq. So I've always thought that she is made of special timber, and those are the kind of people we need in elected office, or in appointed office in our country.
So Governor, who's next best in your mind?
Well, there's a lot of people out there who are interested, and I encourage anyone who's interested. The next couple of weeks will be an opportunity for people to come forward. I think this is a healthy process to have men and women of good faith that believe in service have an opportunity to speak about their positions and what they would do with the office of Lieutenant Governor. Paul Simon was Governor of Illinois, Lieutenant Governor of Illinois, and sworn in when I was in college. And I remember his speech the day he was sworn in. It was the only executive office that Paul Simon ever held. And he said he thought the office of Lieutenant Governor should be an ombudsman for the people. And I didn't exactly know what the word meant back then, and I looked it up in the dictionary, and it means the people's person. It's like a Swedish word that means the people's person. So I think you need to have a person in government who can champion the causes of ordinary citizens. Sometimes things get lost in the bureaucracy. Big government, big corporations, they push people around, and you gotta have an elected official who's there for the people. And I tried to do that in my 6 years as Lieutenant Governor, and I know Paul Simon did, and Neil Hartigan did when he was Lieutenant Governor. He's a good friend. So I thought that that's really what we're looking for.
How important
There's
is,
lots of people that apply, but you personally asked Tammy to put her name in. Have you personally asked other people to put their name in?
No, I haven't, but actually Tammy told me prior to her appointment, federal appointment, that she might be interested in the job I held at the time. And so I remembered that, and that's why I called her to, you know, say, well, hey, this is an unusual occurrence we've had in Illinois. It's happened, and you know, take a look at it if you're interested.
Governor, can we?
Another point is regional balance. Should we get it? Do we need a downskater on the ticket?
Well, I think you need to have a good person who's able to serve as governor, number one. Got to be able to do the job in whatever duty calls. And then I think you also want to have a person, in my opinion, who shares my point of view. I believe in progressive, honest government. We have to use the power of government, we the people, to help the people of Illinois. We have 13 million citizens in our state. The economy is the #1 issue. You've got to have a governor and a lieutenant governor working together to help the people. And so that's what I'm looking for in anyone who wants to